Hey guys, welcome back. We're going to talk about some scary movies and disturbing shows. Be right back. All right, I'm back. I haven't done a video in a couple of months. I've been busy. Right now is the busy season for the 501st. Usually like September, October, November. We have a lot of troops going on. It's the weather's better. It is getting close to Halloween, so it's all kind of things going on. So in September, it all started with actually a Comic Con, and then kind of ever since then, every weekend has just been kind of crazy for me. So I haven't been able to do any of this, and I kind of missed it. So I'm gonna talk about a few things. It's almost Halloween. It's Friday, the 28th. So I'll just talk about a few things that I watched recently and just give my thoughts. So the first thing I want to talk about is Dahmer. Now I know a lot of people have talked about it and everything, so I'm not going to spend too much time, but um, it's excellent. Okay, now it's excellent in the fact of how well it was acted, directed, very informative, because man, I learned a lot about this cat that I didn't know, and it's disturbing. So I do suggest it if you can handle it, because you learn a lot more about the victims. They're not just it's Jeffrey Dahmer and he killed 13 men or whatever it was. They give you a little bit of insight, and they make you really feel for the victims and their families and what they went through, and just how horrible the whole situation was. Evan Peters, who plays Jeffrey Dahmer, if you've watched American Horror Story, you probably know who he is. The guy is fantastic, and whatever award is available for him to win for his portrayal, he should win, because it was nothing short of amazing. Richard Jenkins played his dad. What's his name? Lionel or something like that. Lionel Dahmer. And of course, Richard Jenkins is great in everything. He's the dad in Step Brothers and what is it? Fun with Dick and Jane. Things like that. So he plays both. He plays comedic roles. He plays a lot of dramatic. Bone Tomahawk. I mean, the guy is excellent. And yeah, so I really suggest Dahmer if you if you can get through it. It's not easy. There's a lot of disturbing things in there, and yeah. So that's Dahmer. Moving on. I don't want to talk too much about that. So there was this movie that I've been wanting to watch, because I'm part of a horror group on Facebook, and everybody's talking about X, right? And how just it's the best horror movie of the year, and possibly several years, and it has a Texas Chainsaw Massacre look, and that is true. It does kind of look like it. It looked more like in the trailers than it does in the movies. But after watching it, I do agree with Mia Goth being really great. She's the main character. I say main character, whatever. But it's not that good. I mean, it's good. Don't get me wrong, it is good. It's not by any means a bad movie, but all this talk about it being the best horror movie to come out in years, and all this praise, I didn't see it. I saw an above average horror movie, because there's a lot of crap out there. This definitely has some good kills, some good gore, but some of it's kind of just, it's gross. I mean, there's some gross things that go on in there, and it has nothing to do with killing. I'll just leave it at that. I mean, most people probably know the premise. This is a group of people who rent out a guest house on a farm, right? And they're making a porno movie called The Farmer's Daughter or something like that. And then of course they all start getting killed. So of course there's a lot of sex scenes and stuff like that, which you don't see too often anymore. And but this one had it, because that was kind of the premise of the show. But man, there was just some other stuff that was just nasty. But other than that, it was just an okay horror movie to me. I just, a couple of times, I kind of got wide-eyed and like, oh, what's gonna happen? But I don't know. For the most part, it didn't do it for me. I mean, I watched it for free on Showtime. So if you are a fan of horror movies and you're not disgusted by that type of stuff, and you can watch it for free, I definitely suggest it. But don't go out of your way to watch it. Like I saw, somebody told me that there's a comment on, I don't know if it's on Rotten Tomatoes, anywhere, but there's a comment that somebody said they rented the movie 3 times for $20 each. So they spent like $60 renting this movie. That's insane to me. Like, very few movies are worth $60 to buy, but to rent this movie that's just nuts. So yeah, no, X, okay, maybe 6 out of 10 for me. I'll probably never watch it again. It's just one of those things. Now, another movie that recently came out, of course, I'm late to the game, lots of people have spoken about it, is the new Hellraiser. And in preparation for the new one, of course, I went and watched the original. Now, the original is the only one I had ever seen. I saw it probably around 2004, 2005-ish. I know that because of where I was living at the time. So I was like 24, 25 years old. I grew up watching horror movies, but for some reason, Hellraiser slipped through the cracks. I don't know if because of the subject matter, my mom protected me from that, even though she let me watch Freddy, Jason, all that stuff. But I had never seen Hellraiser as a kid. And so I watched it as an adult. It was one of those, you go back then, I say back then, it was almost 20 years ago already, but you go to Best Buy and they had hundreds of movies, racks of DVDs. This is prior to Blu-ray, or right as Blu-ray was coming into play, and picked it up on sale, I think. I was like, oh, I've never seen Hellraiser. I like horror movies, let's get it. Probably paid $10 or less at the time. So you think of Hellraiser, you think of Pinhead, right? That's what everybody thinks of. I mean, he's like the face of Hellraiser. And so I expected, I don't know, I guess I just expected Pinhead to be going around killing people. I don't know. But that movie is not at all that. So if you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't seen it, I'll give you a little bit of a breakdown. There's the box, right? And it's a puzzle box. And if you try to solve it or whatever, you basically open up a gate to hell or something like that. And so there's, at the beginning of the movie, a character named Frank opens the box and gets taken into hell or whatever it is. And somehow he escapes, right? And it happened in his house. Well, it was like a family house. So his brother inherits the house and his wife. And, I don't want to give too much away, but I'm going to give a little bit away. So if you don't want to hear spoilers, just skip ahead a few minutes. But somebody opens the box or something from what I remember again. And then the brother, his blood drips on the floor, which is in the same room where Frank died, and it kind of resurrects Frank mostly. So he just, like, you see all his muscle and blood, but he's not fully regenerated. And he needs sacrifices, other human sacrifices to regenerate. Very much like The Mummy with Brendan Fraser. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. And, there's a little bit of a backstory that I won't give away, but so he just needs sacrifices to regenerate. So that's kind of the premise of the movie. And then at the end, the Cenobites, which is what Pinhead and the Chatterer and all that, they kind of come back for payment, basically. It's strange. And I don't get it. Like, I didn't get it back then, but I wanted to watch the new one, so I rewatched this one. And I still don't get it. Like, I say I don't get it. I completely understand what the movie's about. I just don't get the appeal. It's they're all terrible people, basically. Very few redeeming qualities. And you don't really care because the main characters are just horrible people. So I don't know why people like this movie, but hey, to each their own. But I personally just think the movie's gross, and I think in 1987, Clive Barker, who wrote and directed it, I think he was going for shock value myself. He was trying to, do something different with the horror genre, and he came up with this. And it was shocking. I mean, there's some gross stuff in it. And I guess that's why I don't like it. To me, it's gross just to be gross. Whatever. Now, I watched the new one. The new one's much better than the original, and I'm not one to really say that kind of stuff. But it just developed the whole story a little bit better, I guess. The main character, drug addict, whatever. So at first you really don't feel too sorry for her, but as things go along, she gets a little more redeemable, and you kind of care what's going on and whatnot. And her brother, he was an alright character, so you kind of feel something for him. So it makes the movie a little more tolerable, and it's not gross just to be gross. Like, I didn't find this one nearly as gross as the original. So to me, this one's much better. If you don't care about the existing lore and you just want to watch a new Hellraiser, you're a young person, and I think it's okay to jump into this one. You don't need to have seen the original one to really understand what was going on, because it is a remake. It's not like Ghostbusters Afterlife, that's a sequel 30 years later or whatever. This is kind of a reimagining, and I think it's better. I would never watch it again because there's the subject matter, the whole gates of hell and all that stuff doesn't do a whole lot for me, but some people it does, and so it's okay. It's not bad. It's probably, is it better than X? Probably so. I would say it's a better horror movie than X. X is just, I don't know, it's just lame to me. I didn't get it, and the acting, that girl Mia Goth was good, but yeah, so, and the same thing in this. Everybody made a big deal about Jamie Clayton and all that, because, the Cenobites are technically gender neutral in the original source material and whatnot. But, I mean, it just looked like a female pinhead. It didn't look gender neutral to me, but whatever. It's okay. I mean, she did okay, and everybody else did fine. I mean, it's well acted and put together. It's just it's not really my thing, I just don't get into the torture porn stuff. But yeah, so I think that's about it as far as the newer stuff that I watched. Oh no, I did watch something else. So on Netflix, there's this new show, The Watcher. That is crap. Okay, the trailer looks good and it looks interesting. It's terrible. It sucks. I watched the first 2 episodes and I couldn't do it anymore. I was like, I don't care. It's lame. Nothing happens. Yeah, it's crap. And so my wife she went and watched the last episode because she just had to know what it was. It was killing her to not know what really happened. And even though it's based on a true story, all she had to do was look it up. But I digress. She watched the end of it and she was like, wow, that's pretty stupid. It's terrible. So yeah, do not waste your time on The Watcher. There are other things. I mean, watch Dahmer. That's better. I mean, if you can get through it. Let's see. Anything else? I don't think so. Oh, so when I went to the Comic-Con, I got to meet John Kasser, the voice of the Crypt Keeper from Tales from the Crypt, and I'm gonna post a picture right now. And he was totally cool, and that was a big deal for me getting to meet him. He was very nice. He did the voice, several times while I was talking to him. He would just laugh like the Crypt Keeper and crack jokes, and yeah, the man was awesome. And then I had another con here in my hometown, and I got to meet, I can never remember his name, but he was Mr. Wu on Deadwood, and he was also Mr. Wu on Men in Black 3. Yeah, Men in Black 3. So I'll post that picture as well. He was really nice as well. So yeah, well, happy Halloween, everyone, and hopefully I'll make another video in a couple of weeks. Cheers.